Good morning, everyone, and welcome one more day to your channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about Anonymous. So if you want to know who they are, what they do, how they organize, or how you can get in, this is your video. Starting with the basics, we can say that Anonymous is the pseudonym to refer to different groups of hacktivists, hackers who perform actions bordering on legality, usually for a political or social reason. Anonymous defends the freedom and justice of the people against political and corporate sovereignty, and that is why their actions are usually directed against political parties or companies, often after they make decisions that directly affect the freedom of the people or the freedom of communication on the internet. That's why they use the Mask of V for Vendetta, movie and comic that I recommend you, by the way. So Anonymous are good or bad? This depends on each person. What I can give you is objective data and which have been the most famous attacks they have done. In January of this year, they took as a target all the servers of the web pages that defended Scientology, since Anonymous is totally against the exploitation of people and much more if it is for economic purposes. In December of last year, they led the operation called Operation Payback, in which they proposed to attack all the servers of those companies that were against WikiLeaks. For those who do not know, WikiLeaks is a website that usually leaks classified and very important information from different governments around the world. In the year of the year, they blocked the web pages of the main Spanish political parties, as well as that of the Senate, due to the approval of the famous Cinda law. By approving this law, any page that had links to copyrighted content and was being distributed illegally could be shut down immediately without the need for a judge to give permission to do so. These are just some of their attacks. They have made many more that you can search on the internet, and they are quite interesting. Based on this, what would you say, are they good or bad? Let me know in the comments because I want to know. And since you go down, you have a button there that says subscribe if you don't want to stop learning. Now that we are clear about what Anonymous are and what they are not, let's see where they came from. The term Anonymous started to be used from the year of the year and comes from the Fortune forum. Fortune, for those who don't know, is the biggest forum in the world where the creator of each thread is obliged to post a picture of whatever to create a thread. To use this forum, you don't need to be registered. In fact, if you use it without registering, the name that will appear is anonymous. You could say that the idea of using the anonymous name in a forum fits quite well with the idea of anonymous, since hacktivists generally do not reveal their identity. So Anonymous uses Fortune to communicate? Well, you could say partly, but to understand how they communicate, you also have to understand how they are organized. Just so we understand each other, Anonymous is not an entity per se with a hierarchy, bosses, or ranks. In fact, Anonymous is made up of small groups of hackers around the world who have a very specific way of understanding the world. It could be understood rather as a current of thought within the hacker world. So if a group of hackers attack the servers of a corrupt government, the most common thing is that they do it under the name of Anonymous to understand why they have done it. Since Anonymous is that, more than a group, it is an ideology. So, if Anonymous is a collection of independent groups, how do they communicate? Well, each small group uses a system. They may use Telegram, computer security forums, deep web forums, or directly IRC chat channels. And you may ask yourself then, if I want to be part of Anonymous, how do I join? Well, very briefly I can tell you that since it is not a group as such, you would not be able to join either. If you are a person who has knowledge of hacking, you understand that to do good and you use it on the internet to defend freedom of speech or free communication on the internet, you are already part of Anonymous. You are already part of Anonymous. And what you want is to meet people to organize different hacktivities and so on. What I recommend you is to follow a lot of computer security blogs, to subscribe to channels that talk about computer security. A pretty good community is created around them. I remind you that down there is a button that you can subscribe that if I were you, I would give it. And this is the end of today's video. If you want to continue learning about computer security, here I leave another video so you do not stop learning. And if what you want is to join this community that is this channel, here I leave my channel so that you subscribe. See you in the next video. Ciao.